But there's a couple that I've been working on since I got in office. The first is a unit road system.
And then all the city roads that are within your precinct, you have to cooperate with the city to get things done.
That is kind of your opening statement, isn't it? Why should they vote for you?
Well, I'll give you part of it. I think that you look at the record that during my time on the court, we've done some really good things for the people of Gregg County. To start at the top, tax rates are low. As Judge Stout is fond of saying, out of 254 counties in the state of Texas, only 6 have a lower tax rate than Gregg County. We've paid off, reduced the debt of the county. That was a tremendous thing to do for us because we have the jail is turned out to be a money-making decision that we made, and when I got on the court, that project was in trouble. I'm not claiming credit for it. You work as a team down at the county, but we had some tough decisions. We had some tough meetings to get that deal up, and it's paid off for us. The county has an A+ credit rating. We've earned that. That means that if Gregg County needs to borrow money at some point in the future, we borrow at the most favorable rates available. We have invested and guided money into what I call foundation of economic development, infrastructure development. Everyone knew that Highway 149 was one of the most dangerous roads in East Texas, and you know, we had a safety. We put money into making that more safe. Highway 42 was another one. These bear a lot more traffic than they used to bear, and there were certain things that made them dangerous. So I think that things are much, much better than when I first got on the court. I don't claim responsibility for all of them, but because again, at Gregg County, you work as a team. But from a team standpoint, I think you could search the state over, and you would be hard to find another Texas county that is as good a condition as Gregg County is.
Well, I believe that the voters should choose me to be their county commissioner because I'm a proven advocate for the residents and the voters, the property owners of Precinct 2. My initiative to get involved in my community began by protecting the issues of property values. I looked around my community and saw what I perceived to be deterioration in our retail and commercial and industrial area, and that was affecting our tax base. And that's what led me to get involved in voicing my concerns and connecting with other folks who shared those issues, and that's where Go West Longview was born. And so out of that, I, through careful investigation of the issues surrounding my community, discovered that we had serious roadblocks, and there were things that grassroots citizens could achieve, Prop 1 being a fine example, but there were other issues that needed to be addressed by our elected officials. And in meeting with both city council members and county officials, I felt like some were engaged in the process of moving our community forward and some were not. And that's what led me to the place where I am today. I see in my precinct a serious lack of attention that has been given to not only the voters that live in that area and the issues that interest them, but our infrastructure and our economic development issues. Good things are happening all over Longview and Gregg County as a result of engaged representatives who are voicing their concerns and bringing solutions to the table. In Precinct 2, which is identified as West Longview from basically McCann Road all the way west to White Oak city limits, and essentially north from Hawkins Parkway all the way south, sweeping down to include Highway 80, Lear Park, and all the way to I-20, makes sort of a nice comma within Gregg County. And that area has not had the attention that it deserves. I believe that's a reflection on the leadership that's been in place for 20 years from the county, and because our city council members have responded to the plea from Go West Longview to get engaged. And it's their credit that we have a comprehensive plan that's now in place to address some of those issues of long-range planning. Our county commissioner, on the other hand, does not feel it's his responsibility to be involved in these issues. As a matter of fact, my conversations with him pretty much implied that he didn't feel any need to be involved in that those were city-driven issues. Well, I disagree. I believe that when your precinct is entirely within the city limits of Longview, you have a responsibility to the voters and to that community to be engaged in every step of the process. And you work with the people that get things done. Being an exclusionist and keeping the county reserves hoarded away from the very things that would benefit the quality of life to the voters in that area, to me is irresponsible. And I believe because of his voting record, he's deemed irrelevant in the process of moving our community forward because he refuses to cooperate with the very people that we need to cooperate with in order to achieve the results we need. I will represent a totally different approach. I'm more of a new school thinking representative in that I do believe you have to cooperate with the very agencies that affect your area. And I'm willing to do so because I want to see my community thrive and I want to see our tax base improved. I want to see the tax burden removed from the burden of the homeowners and spread more equally among our industrial, commercial, and retail growth. And I want to see that area prosper. And I want to see it return to the heritage that is so distinctive and a future that is progressive.
Well, let me talk about a couple. I do a lot of advocating and working with others. You know, when I got office, we have 3 major arteries out there, Dundee Road, Silver Falls Road, Real Road. Those are roads that were the same place when I was a kid, and yet they handle 20 times the traffic now today. And in my last campaign, I went back and looked at some of the things I wanted to see done. Those are all inside the city limits, I would add. So there's not a lot the county can do. But I can advocate for them. I can talk about them. And I've done that. And it takes a long time to get money appropriated through the city to redo some of those roads. They all had certain problems that made it not easy to just go in there and do. But Dundee Road is now on the list at the city. It's a $6.6 million project. Silver Falls Road is now on the schedule for widening, a $6.1 million project. Real Road reconstructions on the schedule, $5.7 million project. These are big project, capital improvement projects that are now not only in the pipeline, they're on the schedule to be done.
Are those part of that's county, city partnerships? No, they're really not. Those are capital improvement projects. Those are all city streets. They're all inside the city limits. But those were put on a capital improvement bond package, and it passed. So they're on the schedule to be done, along with several others.
What was your role in that campaign?
Well, my role in the campaign was to vote for it and support it. But my role prior to that was to keep calling it to people's attention and saying that there's ways to improve out here.